Hello, dear Becky and Lizzy, and we get to decide. And that sometimes the mic can't hear me when I say stuff out here. So
Good morning.
Liz laughing at things I say that you guys can't hear
or barely hear.
Hello. last yarn long coughs. Hello and welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
Dear Becky and Lizzy edition, but we have no questions.
Yes, so the adventures of Liz and Rebecca, who are Becky and Lizzy, and we get to do what we want today. Ha 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 ha. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I am the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in kind of gloomy and maybe rainy and can't make up its mind, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. The rain is coming.
I knew it's coming. One hit me on the forehead coming in today.
A harbinger of doom.
there were freckles on the pavement as I came in. As I went, I thought it was going to rain today. Oh, look, there's wet on the ground, but not much yet. But you know, I did a lot last night. Kind of. I started another pair of these gloves, and but if we show you all the progress today, then I don't know. Well, I was about to say I don't know what I'll show you on Monday or Tuesday, Tuesday. But I'm sure I'll have something else progressed by then.
Did I say I'm Liz there? My brain is like gone.
Tell us. I think she did.
I'm Liz.
I think you did. Yeah. Wait, did you think you didn't say your name after mine?
Yeah, because we started talking about the weather and I don't know. My brain.
You said the rain is coming. You might not have said that you're Liz, but hopefully by process of elimination, our viewers will know. If I'm Liz. Rebecca, you're Liz. Oh my. Yeah, so I have all this fluff in front of me from yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna clean that up, and I didn't. I also decided, and I have a mousecapade story in a second. I can keep you all entertained with that. But I also decided to change up. You know, I've been wearing, it's not even here.
You put it up.
No. I was looking for my cardigan to be behind me like a Mr. Rogers thing, and I think it's over there. I've been wearing my cardigan for like a week and a half straight because I just made it. Yay! And then I was wearing my ranunculus with it as a nice layering piece. And I decided I should keep y'all entertained and I should start wearing more of my winter, maybe even my summer tops to show them off. So I'm wearing my stripes today. Some of y'all may remember this. This is Andrea Mowry pattern. And it's every 8 rows. You change colors if you choose to. And I made it with about 4 skeins of Plymouth Hearthstone. So I even had leftovers. So just 4 skeins of yarn. It's a sport weight pattern, but what I was using was almost a fingering weight. Like they call it a sport weight. It's fingering weight yardage. It's the alpaca and wool combo, merino combo makes it fluffy. So it's like very light and airy. And the good thing about a low quality recording like we do is you can't see all the fuzzies, because the softer it is, the more likely it will pill and fuzz. And that is just
sadness.
I was about to say that is just nature and it's going to happen. And even if it's sadness, you should just embrace it.
It's the nature of yarn.
Yes. So when someone we have said this before, when someone comes in and is looking for the magic unicorn yarn of like, think of a Venn diagram of like soft and maybe machine washable, chuck that in there, and doesn't pill and is cost effective. And
doesn't split.
The middle of that Venn diagram is empty. There is nothing there. And that does not mean that you should never play with yarn. It just means that yarn is going to age with time, and that's life. And it doesn't mean because a yarn pills that it is somehow a cheap, not worth your time or money yarn. It's just nature. Especially natural fibers are going to wear.
Any fiber.
If
you rub arms, if you rub purses, anything that rubs up against it is going to make it feel fuzzy.
So my sweaters tend to pill here because arms are rubbing and arms are rubbing against the girls. Things rub. It just happens. And yeah, it means that I have a gleaner, a sweater comb, nice, fun, fancy sweater comb. When we sell both types, the really, really inexpensive little itty bitty one, and the slightly more expensive, nice little travel, different levels and sizes and fun things. If I really had the time and energy, and I would be gently gleaning my sweaters all the time, because they are going to pill. And again, doesn't mean it's cheap yarn. It's like I spent so much on this yarn and it's pilling, and it's like, especially if it's a natural fiber, that's nature taking its course. So yeah, it's people who want, I want this, and I'm just like, my inside voice says that doesn't exist. My outside voice says, okay, let's see what we can do, but we're probably not going to hit all of those benchmarks.
It's like, and I've said it before, it's like having soft and absorbent bath towels. You get one or the other, you can't both.
Nothing against my sister, but especially when she first bought these lovely guest towels for us when we come to visit, and they're soft and plushy, and they just shed on us and don't necessarily waft all the water off. I say us, it's just me now. Ha! I get to hog all the bath towels when I go visit her. Anyway, that was just random. Mousecapades.
We're
gonna take a break from yarn for a second because I have mousecapades that happened yesterday morning, not this morning, but I saved it because we had no time on the VSC. So yet again, I think it's that time of year when it's cold out, so more meiskies are coming inside, and the cat is like, wee. Yesterday morning, and it used to be, it was the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And lately it's been right when I get up. So at least it's not interrupting my sleep anymore. But I got up and I went to go use the bathroom for my morning routine, and I hear this clatter. And I'm like, something fell over. That's not a good sign, and not something the cat usually does. He's not really clumsy.
It's not close to Christmas, so the rose subject ladder.
Yeah, well, and that's because he's trying to eat the artificial tree.
Yes.
But that's a whole nother story. So I have this vision of him on the artificial tree. He really does that, which is probably, well, I don't own that anymore, but I'm not going to put a new one up. Okay, so I hear a clatter, and then I hear him run by the bathroom door, both of which are not things he usually does in the morning. And I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So when there's an appropriate break in my morning routine, I open the door and go look out, and he is in the bedroom, and there's a pile of towels on the floor, and he's doing that the huffy breathing again, where he's like, I can't, I'm gonna slobber up things if I try to do it. But he's breathing real heavy, and I'm just like, because he's trying to smell. And he's going like this under, like just under the edge of it. He's like,
gotta be around here somewhere.
And I'm going, okay, if I was a smart mouse, I would be just under arm's length back behind that and be fine, right? You know, he's not deep diving. He's only hitting the edge. Like, it's got to be here. It's got to be right in the edge. Yeah. And I look and I'm like, okay, good luck with that cat. I'm going back to the bathroom because I can't see. And I'm not lifting up. I honestly, at that point, I was like, I don't want to know. And he hasn't caught it yet. So I go back to the bathroom. And I'm continuing with my morning routine, which involves like the contacts and the brushing of the teeth and things like that. I've not taken my shower yet. And I hear him run down. I'm a little more running, and I hear him go downstairs. And I'm like, that is usually what he does when he has caught it. So I went back out again, and I go downstairs. And yep, he's just like, and I'm like, okay, give me the mouse. Give me the mouse. And he's like, nope. And he runs, and he actually downstairs, he dropped it, whether on purpose or by accident. I was nowhere near him. He dropped it. And this mouse was sneaky, or trying to be sneaky. He didn't get very far. But this mouse, who looked a little bigger this time, so I don't think he was the same mouse as before for multiple reasons. But this mouse, he dropped him, and the mouse for just a minute was like, and then he was like, oh, good. He got up to, he tried to play dead. He tried to play dead. And then he was like, oh, no, I'm going to go. And the cat was like, nope, back in the mouth. And then he was like, I'm running away from you, like with the hunched shoulder thing. Because he knew I wanted to get him back. And I chased him up the stairs. Upstairs is where I have my little laundry bags and I'm ready. Went into the bedroom, he hunkered so I could go on his back and and it was it was a lot of don't you dare, mom, this is mine. But he attacks me all the time. I have all these scars. This whole incident, he did not bite me or claw me. The cat. He was very focused on just keeping the mouse. And once I got the mouse away from him finally, which I did when he ran to the other room, and I'm worried that, I'm going to get him. I have the bag over my cat's face, and don't worry, it's a mesh bag. My cat could still breathe. And I'm worried because what happened last time is I pulled it out of Avi's mouth and then all heck broke loose and the mouse is running everywhere and the cat's convinced he's over there, but you remember that story. So I'm just worried that that's going to happen again. So I'm trying really hard to keep this, and I'm like poking at his jaws with my teeth. I'm poking at his teeth with my fingers, and I'm trying, and I'm like, oh God, this is good. I don't really want him to bite down harder on the mouse because I just don't want mouse guts in my house. I really don't. And okay, here's the other thing that's always going through my head when the mice things happen. And part of the reason I kind of try to save them, one of my favorite movies when I was a kid was The Secret of Nim, or whatever the name, I forget the name of it now, but The Rats of Nim or whatever. And part of that movie, when it wasn't the creepy rats with the glowy eyes, was the mice trying to move their house and also trying to avoid the big scary cat inside who was going to kill them. And so every time I'm trying to save a mouse, I'm thinking of like, is it Mrs. Frisbee or Mrs. I'm thinking of them and her sick little son and the little mice, the little animated mice. And now I'm like, I can't, I don't want my cat to be the bad guy in the movie. So I finally get it out. And this one's a live one. This one is like in the bag, like, okay, now I'm going to get out. Now I'm going to crawl out and I'm going to escape. And I'm like, no, because then we'll have to do this all over again. Like all of this probably took less time than it's taking me to tell the story. But
not a thing.
It was also really, really cold out 2 mornings ago. And I'm in my nightgown, which again is modest, but short sleeve, like it's not my winter like snowsuit I wear to bed. And so I'm in my night dress. It's like an oversized t-shirt, it's modest. And the shoes I'm wearing now, and like nothing else. And I'm just like, run to Mouse Island. And I'm like, because he's still trying to get out of the top of the bag. And I'm just like, I haven't zipped it shut, but I've like, make sure he can't get out. And I just kind of go, you can get out of this yourself. I'm leaving it there and I'm going back inside. And then I could go on. And the cat, when I went back in, was just like, okay, fine. I didn't get to keep it. But he growled like he was never going to let go. And he was really mad at me. And then as soon as the mouse was out of his jaws, like he never hurt me. The cat never hurt me. Like fighting over the prize. It was like, fine, mom's got him now.
And didn't exactly hurt the mouse either.
No, like he was in a death grip in his mouth, but none of these mice seemed to have any kind of wounds on them when I released them. Like they all seem to still be alive. They're his playmates, but I wouldn't want to playmate like that. I don't know.
I told Rebecca yesterday, I think he's part killer whale because he's playing with his food. Even though he doesn't wind up eating them, he's playing with them. Like
it's like wee blah, 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 blah. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's eating other mice when I'm not home, but he's cleaning up very well after himself because I have found moments when the cat has upchucked and I've had to clean it up, but I've never found something that made me think that he has like eaten a mouse. So, anyway. And I'm just like, why aren't you eating? Well, maybe he is eating the spiders and things are worse than I know, but they're better because he's eating the spiders. I don't know. Anyway, I'd say I digress, but that's kind of obvious.
Squirrel.
So, So that's been the latest adventures. And he's been extra snuggly though, like most of the time that I'm home lately. And I think it's because it's cold in my house and he's like, ooh, something warm to snuggle against. But he also has had his moments of saucer eyes and I have to fear for my life a little bit. And it's certain places that he sits near me on the couch. Suddenly it's I'm at the wrong height or I'm at the wrong angle or the wrong distance from him and suddenly I'm the enemy. I don't know.
My life is so boring.
I would be thankful for that because this cat, oh my Lord.
Like, there's nothing going on in my world. Like we installed the Roku last night. Like,
well, that's exciting. You've seen Dune. I have not. So that's exciting. You know, you've got one up on me there.
Seen it.
What?
A couple of times.
Well, I know you were watching it during knit night one night.
I was so tired. I could not, I was like, I'll just keep my focus on 3 things: knitting, the movie, and
after work, anything more than sometimes I don't even have enough energy for knit night and actual knitting. What made you think trying, 3 things was gonna
and
work?
that was Friday night. And I was trying and it wasn't working. And Rebecca was like, you're focused so intently on something. And I'm like, yeah, I'm watching a movie with subtitles.
I actually thought that her screen had frozen. I thought that
I was
her
so
Wi-Fi
tired.
had tanked.
If I closed my eyes, I could have fallen asleep there. Like, the stories of your dad with, okay, let's
my dad was really good. No, he was really good at a meeting, just like having something in his lap and looking like he was reading it, like his eyes were down and they'd really be closed and he'd really be napping, but give him 10 minutes and he was good. I can't recharge that fast. So I wore my mom's mittens in again. Sorry, Mom. They're getting maybe road tested too much, but it was cold. It wasn't actually I needed them yesterday and I didn't bring them home yesterday.
In a couple of mornings, you'll need them again.
Which means I should just start my own pair. And we talked yesterday or Tuesday about should I make them 2 different colors? I don't know if I want to make a really dark and a really light one. I think that would distract me driving in.
I'd say, are you easily distracted? But I know the answer to that question. Squirrel.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see. I'm wondering if I do this. I said do. I don't know.
It's gonna be one of those days.
Yeah.
Yay.
No. Well, I got a little emotional yesterday because one of my knitters came by who did not know that that the incident had happened where my relationship ended, and talking about that might have got me a little worked up yesterday. So I'm just gonna be goofy today. I got to counterbalance it. So like this. Oh, by the way, we had feedback. People were like, you should do what you want with the crochet blanket. That's still hiding right here. Look, because I'm waiting for the yarn to come in. Because I'm probably gonna do the gray. If it's not like a dye lot that looks really different, I'm probably gonna continue.
I'd like to say I was surprised.
Shocker. Well, people actually said you should do what you want, and if you want, and it sounds like you want to do that. So I can make it sound like I'm doing what someone else, what they want me to do, but they know it's what I want to do. Anyway, let me see. Where's the okay? So there's doing a very light and dark one. There's maybe doing like a complementary little pair, like because this would show what it looks like in a neutral. I was like, I should see. Well, I can see what it looks like in a dark color, and you probably can't even see at home because it doesn't show up well on camera. I've knit with this color though before. I'm kind of interested to knit with. If I'm gonna do them 2 colors, I'd like to do it with colors I haven't used yet.
Okay.
And there's only a few.
May I throw a suggestion out?
You may. I might poo-poo it.
Well, of course you will, but it might be better if instead of a lighter neutral, you went to a darker neutral, because
like this one?
Yes. Something that's going to not scream, hey, I'm white mittens, and if I have to get out and aerate the tire or
oh god, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the colors I have not knit with yet.
It's the
from the
practical
palette
side of my
right
head.
These are the colors I have not knit with yet in the palette. And I could make a matching pair, or I could do an alternating pair, because let's see, of all the other colors, these are the colors in all the hats I've made, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, that's the 5. And I've made the hat out of this stuff. So, and this is actually a lovely palette by itself. Look at this, the leftovers that I haven't worked with. We have 2 grays and a white and like a cream and a taupe, not really a taupe, it's a tan. And I almost called this yellow. My brain does not function well sometimes with vocabulary. That is a nice rosy pink.
I think it would make a pretty mountain scene, like a monochromatic.
Yes, but I can't make more mountains. If someone would like to make some mountains out of this, please do.
Or a sweater.
Actually, this would be a nice palette for a sweater. I have to go back and look through my. Are you mocking me, Liz?
No. I knew you would like go, ooh, sweater.
I need more sweaters on needles right now. I have enough sweaters here. I could wear one winter sweater a day and for a work week and not repeat any. And I actually have more than that. I have more at home. That I was looking back through the original episodes, like our early ones, and those have the ones I made at home. I was wearing those because I didn't have any others made yet.
Yeah.
I only had my really, really old ones, but they were pretty. They were cute. See, now I'm eventually gonna make, and I think I took the book over there. The book I was showing y'all on Tuesday. No, that's okay. I will survive. The Moon and Turtle book. I'm gonna make the sweater on that cover, and I don't know if I want to waste too much time looking for, but hey, it's our time to burn. Y'all are watching us. I don't know, Are we not entertaining? I took a picture, but it was like a few weeks ago, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, of thoughts for this sweater, because this has been on my mind for at least a couple weeks. Ooh, by the way, cute hat has been released. It's fingering weight though. This is it's by Lavanya Patricella. I think she's done some of the other brioche stuff that I have made patterns for the shop. Look how cute that is. It is called the Garter snake hat, and I've already favorited it. It might be in the newsletter next week. It's like half brioche and half garter, and it kind of angles up the hat. I think it's super cute. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it because it's fingering weight, but we'll see. So hats, though, it's supposedly the weather for hats, and I've been making a bunch of hats lately. I've been avoiding like anything, and now what do y'all think about hats?
Yeah, but you cycle through what you're making. Like you were on a hat kick way back in the day, and then it was, well, I'm tired of hats, let's do cowls, and then let's do triangle cowls, and then
let's do shawls, and then do sweaters,
and then sweaters,
and now I'm trying to do all of them, and nothing's getting finished. Oh, the hats are getting finished.
That's because they're fast.
Well, yeah. All right, I'm trying to, I took a picture. It was a couple Saturdays ago. I'm going to see if I can find this. I also have all these pictures of yarn for people. When they ask for things, I try to send them pictures. And that's a picture of my mirror, and that's weird. Okay. Okay. So this was a thought, and the color looks really funny, but I was thinking about doing that Moon and Flower. That's another company, I think. Moon and Turtle, right? I was gonna do, I think it was this.
Yeah.
This for my sweater. Okay. This is one possible color combo. Something with this. I mean, it only needs 4 colors. It's so like, it only needs 4 colors, and this is 5.
I'd pull the brown.
You pull the tan. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh. Now I don't know. Now I have to take a picture of this. And when I finally do make a sweater, I'm gonna have to decide. It could be, maybe it's whatever I don't make mittens out of, or maybe it's gonna match the mittens. I don't know. But I think you're absolutely right to say that, like, I think mittens should be out of one of these two colors, because then it's not something I'm worried about getting dirty. I am taking a picture of this just to remember. And both of those pictures I'm going to have to go put in my favorites so I can find them again. But y'all can weigh in if you want. Not many people weighed in on Tuesdays. Like, maybe they're afraid of, or they're saying, well, she's not going to listen to me anyway. I might. You may not know. I might go with what the popular consensus is. But if not enough people give in a popular consensus, I'll make my own decision anyway.
She sometimes gives in to the popular consensus.
Sometimes, especially if it's what I already want to do anyway.
It's just validating your...
It just goes, yep, see, look, they all want it too. Ha no. I did, and maybe I'll work more on this weekend so I can show it off again. I went back to my Jupiter crop a little yesterday and today, and I just started knitting it off the stitch holder I took pictures with, so it may not stretch out well to show y'all, but I got through all the pink down here. It won't even show up on camera. I'm getting back to yellow again.
It looks really cool.
It's so cool. I'm like, I was thinking, I think I might have already said this, but so someone can tell me. With the ranunculus being a nice layering piece, like this is the first short sleeve other than the ranunculus. But I started this long before the ranunculus. It was just easier to finish the ranunculus. I'm just gonna say ranunculus a lot this episode. By the way, the pattern writer of the ranunculus liked one of my Instagram posts about her sweater. I was like, woo! I fangirled. This one, this one is one I started before the ranunculus, but it's the first short sleeve. I made a bunch of short sleeve sweaters at this point, but I've made them all out of like summer fibers because I'm like, why am I going to want to wear a short sleeve wool piece in like that? That seems in my brain, that seemed like an oxymoron, like a juxtaposition, a short sleeve wool sweater, because short sleeve tops are for the like spring and fall, maybe summer, depending on the material, and long sleeve is for the winter. But now I'm realizing, especially here in the shop, the layering of like a short sleeve piece and maybe a cardigan too, especially at home when I'm cold, I think it'll work well. Like I went home in so many layers. What?
It started with how many hats and cowls can I put on during a VSC edition? And now it's like, how many sweaters can I wear during the course of a shop day?
It's fun though. It keeps me entertained. Although, okay.
She's easily entertained.
That takes me, well, y'all know that. That takes me back to it would be entertaining if I had time to be bored enough to need to be entertained. The past 2 days, like it's been just, again, that whole just busy enough. You all have experienced this. If you've tried to watch our videos the past 2 days, it's been just busy enough. I haven't had time to finish the videos and get them up till I get home. It's crazy talk.
And she tries.
I really do, but I can't neglect customers just to get the videos up. I'm sorry, y'all. But, you know, if we have customers in the shop, whether or not they're spending lots of money, they're people who deserve our attention, because that's our shop model, is everybody is like basically like part of the community when they walk in the door. So that means that I don't have a lot of time to spend on my computer.
What inevitably happens is we get done here, we open up the shop, and then at some point she's like, okay, I need to edit the video.
Oh, no. It more often is like it's lunchtime and I'm going, oh, poop.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to the video.
Yeah. There's that. Or well, it's lunchtime.
I'm
or
very expressive about it.
She opens up the computer to start doing something with it and somebody walks in. Mm-hmm. And generally it's more than one somebody, because.
And sometimes they want to make a blanket. And we talk about it for a long time, because that's an important decision. Even blankets, if you're making out of, we recommend inexpensive yarn sometimes for big blankets, because, you know, it's a large project, but even, you know, that needs some time and thought and care and commitment. And
if you're spending time thinking about an Afghan and you're not knitting it out of your stash, it's a commitment.
It is. And we often encourage people to buy Encore. I mean, you don't have to. You can get fancy stuff. We have knitters who are doing fancy stuff too. But Encore is it's one of our cost-effective. It depends on the thickness of yarn for the pattern or for what you want to do. Especially for a bulky, like a super bulky blanket, or a worsted weight one. We also have washable wool, like the Cascade 220 Superwash. It's not bad, but that's more of a DK weight blanket. And it's gonna add up no matter what. So it all depends on what your budget is, and we like to work within your budget.
I have seen two ends of the spectrum with the mega Encore Mega blankets. They're right around $150 for a decent size throw.
The one that I talked with a lady yesterday about, it's probably going to be a little over $100. Yeah.
I've seen them over $600 to $1,000
worth of yarn if you're going with really fancy yarn.
Yeah. So like, it's a commitment regardless of where your budget is.
Yeah. It's I mean, and we have some chunky acrylic here that like 100% acrylic. Encore is mostly acrylic, a little bit of wool, and you could do it out of 100% acrylic. Again, that's not going to guarantee it won't fuzz and pill, but it might make it a little more cost effective. That's probably like if someone's making like a big blanket out of, say, the Major.
Yeah,
that's the most cost
effective. That's still going to take 6 to 8 bowls at 13 for a decent.
Because those have a lot of yardage on them. I'm getting distracted by my bangly, sorry.
But then it is not as thick knitting, so it goes.
So it takes a little longer, and it'll be pretty. But yeah, actually, we've had at least one knitter make a blanket out of Major, and it took her a bunch of balls. Yeah. So anyway, but we want to work with you and make it work, and that's why sometimes when we have more than 2 groups in the shop. And even sometimes with the 2 groups, if there's multiple people in those groups, it's hard to give everyone the attention that we feel they deserve. Like we've had some people who have left they didn't sneak out, but they left because we were busy with other people. And we feel bad because that's not the treatment. They might have been done shopping.
We don't know, but like we turn around and they're gone. And it's like, we feel bad that we didn't say goodbye.
Yeah, we like saying hello and goodbye to everybody. And we've had one of the episodes where we talk about how, like, when I'm shopping in a store, sometimes it's overreach if someone's like, well, hello, and how can I help you? And I'm just like, dude, back off. But most people who come into a yarn shop, even if they just want to look around on their own, appreciate a little bit of, we know you're here. We're here if you need us. A little bit of that community feel, you know? And honestly, if they really don't like that community feel, they may not come back to our shop, and that's okay. But we try to feel out where their comfort zone is. And if we broach that comfort zone too many times, I try to at least make a joke about it so they know that I'm not trying to be creepy. So, but maybe that's creepy. I don't know.
I was trained you need to check in with them every so often. And so, you know.
Yes, because I do the whole, you've only worked here 3 weeks of, hey, have you checked in with them recently?
I've only worked here 3 weeks.
I've only worked here 3 weeks sometimes too, you know. So, and that, folks, is sarcasm. All right, I'm playing with my bangles again. So we should open up the shop soon. So I'm very excited about this though. Like, this is done with its increases. I think it was the last time I showed it off to y'all, but I still had to do a little more here. I think, let me see if I can look at it real fast. What's our schedule is while I'm looking this up?
Our schedule is, today is Thursday. So dear Becky and Lizzy, you can email Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com
for next
week. Or you could send us a real paper letter, like with a stamp and everything, at Dear Becky and Lizzy, Sun Dragon Art and Fiber, 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina, 28712. Tomorrow night is Sit and Stitch. We don't have a filming tomorrow, just a Sit and Stitch from 7 to 9. The Zoom code is our shop phone number, 828-877-3550. Saturday, is Halloween Fest downtown.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna talk about that, and we ran out of time. So we're gonna die.
We're gonna die.
We have to be in before 7 o'clock for that. Like, so we have knit night, and then we have to be in. Well, we don't have to if we want to. If we don't like, let me back up.
We want to find parking.
There's too much.
Let
me sum up. Yeah, my lot is going to be part of where I usually park, which is not right behind the building. Is going to be closed. From 7, that street is going to be closed from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And so we might try to park where Liz usually parks, both of us. But if we come in at normal time, it might already be parked up. So we may have to, what I'm thinking we're going to do is come in before, like just before 7, sometime between 6:30 and 7. We did that for Attack on the Carolinas, and it was painful.
Mom suggested we get breakfast. So we might walk down to.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Cookie breakfast,
and we have a gift card. Oh, sorry guys, we're plotting and planning, and this is great.
We might go for a walk.
So, but I think we're gonna try to park in her lot before 7. So if her lot is already booked up because other people can't park where they want to park, then we can maybe sneak in here before 7 and just be trapped here all day, or find somewhere else to park. But ooh, that's a good idea. We go get breakfast and exercise. So some of that is just so we can complain to y'all, but some of that is also if you are going to come on Saturday there's Halloween Fest, which is shutting down most of the downtown streets and limiting parking, which is already limited. Because this is a quaint little town with street parking and a few lots, and people are like, we're coming to your shop. Wait, there's no parking lot right out front of your. No, I'm in downtown, and it's cute and quaint and hard to find parking. So if you're coming on Saturday, there should be a whole lot of fun things here. Not as much craziness as usual because we're still limiting vendors because of COVID, but enough craziness that bring your mask and prepare extra time for parking. So
extra time for parking, and there could be people-y stuff all over it. They're doing kid trick-or-treating.
Yeah,
they're doing.
They told us to be ready for 1,500 kids. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't think
dog parade.
We don't have that
with
on a regular
contest.
Yes, we're gonna have dogs up on the plaza. Well, pets, but we think mostly dogs up on the plaza. Because this is where the pet parade ends. Is right outside our shop. So come for the fun.
Exciting.
We are we're gonna have a sale this weekend, which is part of the Halloween Fest and also is gonna go all weekend, but it's only Saturday at the shop. And for those of you who are used to big, huge sales, this one's a small sale. It's 10% off with the code Halloween Fest 2021. The numbers are numbers, the words are words, there's no spaces. Halloween Fest 2021 will save you 10% online Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and we'll save you 10% in the shop on Saturday. But you have to mention Halloween Fest, or
at checkout.
We will forget.
Yes,
9 times out of 10 we will forget, and it could be that we will be generous and mentioning it to everyone and saying, hey, it's 10% off today, and it could be that we will just forget. And if you say Halloween Fest, we'll go, oh, that's right, 10% off. Yes. Okay. So yes, it's not as much as some of our mega sales, but it's still a discount. So if you've been missing some of the other ones, or if there's something that you want to get, save a little money this weekend. All right. We got to go. We got to open the shop. I have to get out of this without, pulling most of it out, but it's like a mixture of patterns. This is one of the one tops that I'm going to make. It's not just the yoke. There's color work throughout the whole thing. I'm kind of super excited about it. We'll see where I get to. I really should focus on just one sweater and get it done.
What?
And so far I haven't been able to do that.
It's like me.
I mean, I did it with my cardigan.
Like one Papillon to get it done.
I did it with my cardigan though. Yeah, because you only had one at home, and I'm like, well, just work on that one. So what's the big deal? But I get it. I know. Yeah.
Issues.
Okay, y'all have a good weekend. Come visit us
Tuesday.
Come visit us online or in the shop. If you're local, in the shop. If you are not local, there's opportunities to meet us and hang with us online. So, and if you're not going to join us, and Liz is like, come on, can we? I thought we were done. And if you're not going to join us like in person for anything, we will see you Tuesday, like she just said. Bye.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell,
Patreon, all that good stuff. Ask us if you have questions about any of it. And I can't go turn off the video wearing this unless I
no, because you're attached.
And the yarn was just attached to my bun, and yarn problems. I know y'all can relate.
Nope.
Bye. Nope,
Never.
Oh, I'm getting old, Liz.
We all are.
Every day.